Hey listeners, you're listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. Grab some tea, a midnight snack, and cuddle up in bed as we dive deep into today's popular fantasies, sci-fi, and mysteries. We're your hosts. I'm Lily.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Christy.
This season, we're stepping into 3 standalone worlds. Right now, we're diving into a dark academia mystery filled with obsession, ambition, and just a little bit of murder. That's right. Grab your scripts and memorize your alibis. We're headed to Delacour Classic Conservatory.
7 actors, 1 stage, and absolutely no sense of boundaries between fiction and reality. Just like this podcast. Welcome to a world of rivalries, rehearsals, and the kind of ambition that doesn't just crave the spotlight, it kills for it.
In this episode, we'll be discussing If We Were Villains, Act 3, where Richard's death haunts the narrative as this acting troupe begins to slowly come to terms with his death, and explore some complicated feelings now that Richard isn't holding them back. Or is he?
Before we get into it, this is your warning for major spoilers ahead. This includes all 3 standalone novels we'll be covering this season and any fan discussions we find online. We're also avid fans of the Moss universe and might accidentally let spoilers slip for other popular romantasy book series as well. Sorry in advance, like the books, this podcast is rated R, so be warned.
Also, a friendly reminder to please like, subscribe, and follow. You can find us on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and YouTube. And if you want some bonus content and behind-the-scenes chaos, join our growing community on Patreon as well.
You know what I just thought of?
What's that?
What if we just randomly called out the people that downloaded the Jacob's Furry Flu and we're just like, hey, so can you guys just tell us?
Is this you? Just what were y'all?
To the 7 people in Germany that
8.
really needed to hear that episode. Okay, 8 people in Germany.
Why?
Okay, we're just curious.
I mean, thank you. But
I'm just curious as to what people are thinking about us. You know, we're getting controversial. We're getting a little controversial lately. So I'm like, is Europe listening to this and going, God, they're such a mess? Like,
this makes sense.
I forgot to tell y'all. We did get a comment on YouTube on our latest episode about the FMCs.
What did I have to hear the thoughts? Tell me.
Let me pull it up.
Little live reaction here. Get us started off with some fun.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I hope the comment is not like, you guys are fucking dumbasses.
Would I bring that up on the air?
Possibly.
I would hope not. Yeah.
It got
Brittany being like, you guys are wrong, and this person agrees.
You know, if there's ever a comment that says Brittany's wrong, she's going to delete it.
Oh my God.
No, I wouldn't.
No, she would respond. She would respond.
Yeah, true.
So the comment is from at AJAKCSY3265.
This sounds like a bot.
It says, the part where y'all talked about Aelin giving up all her power at the end of her series, I was devastated. Why does Dorian get to keep all of his power and he didn't even want them to begin with?
Yeah.
TBHL. I know plot-wise why, but SJM why? I don't...
Wow, yeah, honestly, that's a really good point.
Yeah, just like IDK if it's necessary. If it's necessarily a trope, but I hate the trope of the MC giving up all of their cool powers at the end of their story. Edit to answer the question at the end, Aelin is my favorite character, period. If it's not painfully obvious, I have 2 tattoos for her, so yeah.
Nice. Love that.
Well, but what it could be too is that women are just so fucking awesome that at the end it's like a mic drop. Like they're stronger, even without their powers, and the men still needed to be strong. I'm just saying.
I do believe that was why, like, Sarah J. Maas did say that there had to be a sacrifice. I too hated that Aelin lost her powers. Why are women sacrificing all the time? Like, why?
Ugh.
And Yeah, it was one of the things that I was iffy about. Like, I didn't like it. I hated it. I just absolutely hated it. I was devastated too. And
hopefully that listener hears us. Maybe we should be like, hey, we addressed this in the most recent episode.
And
thanks for commenting.
Yeah, it is way too often something that happens, but
yeah,
unfortunately.
Now we have to get back to the world of no magic, sadly, because not only are we now talking about some potential murder, now we're talking about the craziest fucking scene. We start off with Oliver and Colborne still walking and talking. You know, nothing crazy is happening in this prologue. I think it's just to bring us back into reality. Except we do find out something major.
A couple things.
Meredith pissed me off. Like, how could you not testify? You literally were with him when Richard died. Or, well, yes, they were together when Richard died. But when he was injured or whatever happened to him, they were together the whole night.
But what if something else happened that we don't know yet that stopped her from testifying? But
she knows that Oliver is innocent. I'm sorry.
But is he?
However,
they were together because Richard was alive, banging on their door while they were fucking. They slept together. And then
he went to the bathroom with James. She came back, or he came back. But we don't know for sure between that time. I'm just saying.
That conversation lasted all of 5 minutes. I'm sorry. That was not enough time for...
No. What I'm saying is he went back to Meredith, supposedly. Mm-hmm. He woke up with her later. But what if something else happened in there that we just don't know about yet? Because when Colborne asks him if what he's telling him is true, he says in one way or another. So I would like to pose the theory of, could this be in this section of the next where we're going to find out that Oliver did in fact kill him, and this is the ultimate performance for Oliver, and that he got away with it because he only serves like 10 years for a lesser charge?
Well,
I mean, to be fair, some murderers don't even get 10 years, so I don't know if it's getting away with it. But my thing is, he is an unreliable narrator, but he was shocked, supposedly, to find Richard there and to see the condition, to the point where he talks about how disturbing it was just to feel his pulse.
But what if he is inhabiting a character that would feel that way as an actor?
He might be portraying himself as an actor, but I think this is coming from a real place. Because he did say he was going to tell the truth.
Regardless of whether he did it or not, I do want to say that 1, we haven't finished the book, and 2, they all agreed in this section not to talk about it.
Yeah, which they also have problems with because they keep bringing the fucking shit up.
I mean, to the fucking authorities.
Well, they need to just agree to stop talking about it altogether because they keep talking about it and somebody's going to overhear them. And they fucked this plan up so much. Like, I'm just sitting here reading the book and I'm like, okay, so what you should have done is this, this, and this. And
I mean, you're coming from the position of a person who didn't just witness a murder.
Well, I mean, neither did they. They just found a body.
He died. He was their friend. He died, though. The point is that they're all...
He died as they were having a conversation.
Yeah.
But as they're waiting for him to die.
But at the same time, they don't know what happened to him either. I mean, except for whoever hit him. And
not my point.
We are only assuming.
Get him out of the water.
We are only assuming that he didn't fall and
even if he fell,
bust his face up.
Even if he fell, let's say even if he fell, they all were at one point close with him and can feel, like very complicated about that. Like their actions they don't always have to be logical.
I agree. I'm just saying they didn't witness a murder. They just found a body. And
Well,
they didn't find the body. They found a living person and then watched him die.
Yes.
they found Richard alive.
And they committed no crimes except for one. None. In the state of Illinois, it is only illegal to stop somebody from helping somebody, but you do not have to help somebody if they are in need, unless you put them in that position to begin with.
Did you research this when you read this book?
I did.
It doesn't matter what the law is.
It does matter what the law is.
Brittany's like, legally, is this okay?
They should have stuck to the truth. It makes them look like shitty people, yes, but they should have stuck to the truth. Their lives would be so much better if they stuck to the frickin' truth as much as possible. They should have left out the fact that they stopped James from helping. And if one of them did murder it, which I do think that one of them murdered Richard. But as far as we know right now, it was an accident. If one of them murdered him, then yeah, don't mention your part. But stick to the truth as much as possible.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I agree that the way they handled it was wrong. I'm just saying that they also were not necessarily thinking with clarity when they, like, in this moment. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely agree that they should have been more honest and more forthcoming about it, because I think it would have made things easier on them.
Yeah. And now they got this police officer.
I don't know. Alexander was like, let's stop and think about this as he's like bubble dying.
Yeah, Alexander, while they're all standing there watching Richard die, Alexander's like, is it really such a bad thing that he's dying? Like, we could just not help him. Which I don't think if they even tried to help him that he would have lived.
No,
you know?
I don't think he would have either.
But I think
that was later on. It sounded like he would have. Later on, it sounded like he drowned in his own blood, but that it wasn't fatal.
He did,
but
he
was okay. He literally died during this conversation. This conversation lasted 5 minutes. So even if they would have gone out there, pulled his body out of the lake, he still would have been drowning in his own blood, and they would have had to wait.
They could have tipped him upside down and it would have drained out of his mouth. Therefore, he would not have died.
Oh my God.
And they would have still had to wait on the ambulance.
Okay.
I don't think he would have lived.
If they decided to help him, I don't think they would have tried to pull him out of the water, because the smart thing to do would be to either pull him up to the beach, or possibly just leave him there, because head injuries are a difficult thing to work with. You're not supposed to move people around when they have head injuries. Maybe they would have just kept him from drowning in the water, possibly, but even if they tried to help him, I think he would have died. His head was caved in. I mean, he wasn't going to be a normal person at that point.
No, I don't think he would have recovered well, but...
No, I just don't know.
I don't think he would have recovered at all.
No, I don't think so. And, I mean, what was I going to say? Fuck. Damn it. What was I going to say? I think the thing that matters is that they make that decision to leave him there, right? They all stand there and talk to each other, and they're like, well, regardless of if he would live or not, they made the decision to watch him die.
And listen to him die, yeah.
Yeah, that fuels their guilt, which... Yeah, I get that. I get the feelings part, but I'm just saying, it's part of the crime.
Do you know what this makes me think of? When Brittany argued against, who was it that got her throat slit? And she was like, it's not that big a fucking deal.
Oh my God. Dude, that was such a moment. A moment.
Mira got her throat cut, and I'm just saying,
suck it up.
As far as, that is not what I said. That is not what I said. I said that it should be a simpler injury to heal than, say, a broken bone where you have to put the pieces back together. Anyway.
It's another thing where Brittany is thinking logically, but that's not necessarily how we should be thinking about it.
I mean, I love murder mysteries. I watch a lot of true crime and a lot of police procedural shows and whatnot. So when I see a murder, I'm like, okay, this is how you get away with it. That's where my brain goes. They made things harder than it had to be.
They did. Because I do think that if they had all said, hey, we found Richard like this, and we don't know what happened, I do think they would have felt better about themselves. And if somebody was eventually found, oh my God.
What?
Oh my God. I just love her so much. Brittany's got her dog with her.
Oh, wait.
I left the
so
door.
cute.
I left the door open, and she just came walking in and looked like just came up and was like, hold me.
Although the grunting is hilarious.
She's gonna be on the podcast. Yeah,
So cute.
Okay, can you be quiet?
Roxy. But if they had tried to like pin it on somebody, if they had told the truth, I think it would have gone better, because you could. I still think it would have gone better.
They should have pinned it on Colin.
Oh my God.
He did it.
Poor Colin.
Poor Colin.
James is the one that is like trying to help Richard. He's like, why are you guys just gonna leave him there? Like, he's alive, like pull him out. And everyone's like, stop it. Leave him alone. What did you guys think about that?
You talking about as far as like James' guilt?
Yeah, all of it.
I definitely felt he acted out of like, oh, I thought, like I said that last episode, he was in the shower, threw up because he might have just killed somebody. And this is absolutely him going, oh, maybe I didn't actually just kill somebody. And if yes, that he did do something to Richard, he has a legal obligation to help Richard. So that could
I don't think they care about legality here. They're smoking weed on that dock.
Yeah.
Okay? They're also like getting like first years raging drunk at that party.
Yeah.
Like, there is no concern about legal.
Plus, most of them are like mega rich. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like sometimes, y'all, it's a fiction book. It's fiction.
But I like if my fiction book is gonna be based in my world, I need it to follow the rules, because just like I need political people to follow the rules.
I think it's time to let that one go.
I'm just saying, suspend a little disbelief.
I suspend enough doubt in reality. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
You're killing me.
Well, and they list Meredith as livid as well.
Yeah, well, Oliver says she looks angry, which I'm not really sure if that's like if it's angry that they're in this position. Yeah, I don't know if we're supposed to think she is angry actually, or if it's just she looks intense, like she looks like she's upset. Oliver is not the best sometimes at telling us what's going on, clearly.
Yeah.
So I kind of read that as like he doesn't really know what she's thinking.
I agree.
I'm questioning more and more his whole viewpoint, his sanity, his like, I don't know. I definitely have some questions.
I don't know. For me, I completely understand if Meredith is angry. She literally had this abusive boyfriend who she broke up with die, and now she can't move on with her life because of him dying.
Yeah.
And it's the same for Wren. Like, you know, she was mistreated by her cousin, who is also supposedly much like a brother. And now she is being looked at for murder and didn't know if she was going to come back to school. Her whole life might be fucked up because of Richard.
Yeah. And I think also it complicates things to feel angry at Richard for the stuff that he did when he's alive, but also feel bad because he died. You feel like you can't feel those things because he's gone now, but you're like still angry at him because of what he did.
Oh yeah. And I've talked about this before, but I had a very abusive ex-boyfriend kill himself, and I went through. And it's still sometimes like I'll have moments where I'll think about him and I just feel so depressed that he's gone. But also then I have to remember that he hit me, that he gave me a black eye, that he destroyed me mentally. And then I'm mad at myself for being sad that he's gone. And then I'm mad at myself for being mad at myself and mad at him. And you get all these conflicting emotions all at once. You're sad, you're mad, you're relieved, you're angry, you're depressed, it's confusing. Feelings are confusing.
Yeah, I mean, Wren starts crying, and Alexander also is like, don't cry over Richard. Like, he did this to himself. Which, if you think about it, even if someone killed him,
Yeah.
he might have, like incited it. Who knows what fucking happened? Either he fell off the dock, or somebody was fighting
during the
with
section
him.
when I was reading
We saw what happened.
Richard was banging on the door, and they got him to go away. And then Wren and James were with him, and he assaulted Wren. And James seems to be very, like, I know we talked about it before with, like, the twirling of the hair and stuff, but there's so little evidence there that indicates, and that's Oliver's fault, that indicates that James is emotionally involved with Wren. I see James as mostly emotionally involved with Oliver.
Yeah.
But the way he reacted when Wren passed out, and then plus that on top of the story of Richard hurting Wren, it does make me think that maybe that's what led James to hurting Richard, if that's what happened.
Him assaulting Wren.
Well, it's funny because I really don't feel like for the whole James and Oliver relationship, it doesn't feel like it is that they both feel the same way. I feel like that Oliver idolizes and loves James, and James likes Oliver and likes for him to be his like assistant. But it doesn't seem like he sees him quite in that same light as far as like a love jealousy, more of like a please don't take my assistant jealousy, if that makes sense.
I don't know. I kind of got the vibe when he was telling Oliver off for sleeping with Meredith, like that you don't need to be doing this because you shouldn't be sleeping with anybody else but me. That's the way it felt.
Yeah. I also felt like it was very possessive. Like he's lashing out because he's like, why are you sleeping with Meredith? Like, obviously she doesn't care about you. He's doing it as like a
But
front,
James doesn't like Meredith.
He's saying...
So could it be just he doesn't like her?
This is gonna... But why doesn't he like her? But I mean, it seems to me like he was trying to say, like, this is gonna jeopardize our safety. Like, you can't be sleeping with Meredith. It'll look bad. But what he really means is... don't sleep with Meredith because I don't like it.
Really?
Don't sleep with Meredith because I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. And jumping ahead a little bit, I think I'd rather, if you guys are cool, that we can jump around because there's a lot going on in this section. But jumping ahead a little bit, when they all go to Thanksgiving break, they're all forced to go home because the school closes. And Oliver has to go back to Ohio, and all of them have to break up and go to their own respective places. Yeah, they're not great parents at all. But James shows up in the middle of the night, and this, to me, it like reflected how Meredith comes to him after everything. And you know how she like wakes up Oliver and she's like, hey, I can't sleep. Please sleep with me. The scene when James shows up randomly at Oliver's house is almost the same thing. He shows up, except he fucking flies there. That's the difference. But he shows up in the middle of the night, taps Oliver, and is like, hey, will you sleep with me in this bed? And Oliver's like, yeah, I'll hold you. They're very mirroring of each other. They're very similar, like, situations where it's like everyone goes to Oliver for comfort, and he is like juggling these two relationships. And clearly, Meredith thinks that he chooses James over her.
It really pissed me off because I was like, okay, as far as any of these people are concerned in this relationship, they're not dating. Like, they've never said, you're my boyfriend, you're my girlfriend. They are casually sleeping together, and they're not even fucking. They're sleeping together. And then James comes over, and what's he supposed to do? It's not like he invited James over. And was he's supposed to be like, yeah, James is at my house and he has nowhere to go. But I want to go fuck my girl, or, you know, fuck this other girl that might be my girl one day. So James, you gotta go? Or is he supposed to be like, have fun with my fucked up family, I'm gonna go sleep with Meredith? Like, that's an impossible choice.
Yeah.
He could have taken James with him.
I definitely agree.
But did she invite him? And would James go because James doesn't like her? And for me, it was really fucked up that James showed up at his house unannounced. I would never invite somebody to somebody else's house that the owner of the house didn't invite. So, or a person who lived there didn't invite. So that's like a line for me. You can't sit there and be like, no, choose me over him. You're both friends as far as your relationship status goes. You're equal.
Well, I mean, one thing I did want to bring up for them even going back is that at this point, I think, don't they say that at this point it's been ruled an accident? Mm-hmm. Like they have already, how the fuck do they rule this an accident?
The ME probably ruled. Well, I would think the ME would actually rule it or suspicious circumstances. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but if there's no evidence to indicate a murder that he was hit, like they still don't have whatever it is that hit him, and that's the only reason why it would be considered suspicious, then they can't like that. But
it doesn't make sense. It's too, if it was like a year down the road, maybe, but you're talking like less than 2 weeks.
It's also a school, a very influential, rich school that has, they're probably going to be pushing, hey, just let's sweep this to the side, keep it quiet.
You guys are making too much sense.
Okay, well, let me ask you another question then. From what I read, and maybe I missed something, but it sounds like they don't know where Philippa is from or where she lives. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, at least Oliver doesn't. And that, I was like, did they not know anything about Philippa? Yeah. Or does she keep all that shit to herself?
Mm-hmm. Very strange.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like she just doesn't talk about it or doesn't want to talk about it. At one point, Oliver tries to ask, and she's like, I don't want to talk about it. So, it just seems like it. I mean,
because
he knows she's going to Chicago.
She says she's from, but he's got questions.
Yeah. But going back to Meredith, I agree but also disagree, because I agree that if James just showed up at my house, it's not like I would just kick him out and then head to New York. Like, that's not how anyone would handle it, I don't think, a reasonable person. However, I think that James showing up is totally intentional, because he probably knew that Oliver might see Meredith over the break. And 2, I think that Meredith knows more than Oliver knows, which is clearly Oliver is in love with James. And I think that she's taking it that way because she's like, I know better.
Later on, though, Meredith doesn't seem like, when he's asking her about, are you my girlfriend or am I your boyfriend or whatever? And when they're in the bar, she doesn't seem all that like, yes, that's what I want. It seems to her, she's kind of like, not really, that's not. So I don't think it's jealousy.
I don't necessarily think it is either, but I think it's like, you told me you would come. This feels kind of shitty.
Did he say that
doesn't
he would
shock
come?
me that James showed up, kind of thing.
Think about it, or it was kind of like a maybe. That was the way I took it.
Well, it's implied that he did say yes, because then he calls her and tells her he won't come.
Well, I mean, I would hope that if somebody told me maybe and then decided not to come, they would call and tell me that they decided not to. So I'm not sitting there. I'm just saying, like, it was, this rubbed me the wrong way about Meredith, just like the prologue about her deciding not to testify. I feel like this whole section was about how each of them are dealing with the guilt. And like Meredith is
sure.
I feel like she's even kind of using Oliver to make herself feel better. It's also when you want attention, but you don't want anybody's attention. It's hard to explain. But
Yeah.
I feel like that's what it is. You want comfort, but you don't necessarily want anything else from that person. And for Oliver, he is cracking under the pressure of keeping secrets. But like I said, they should have just told the truth to begin with. At least as close to the truth as possible. I don't understand why they made so many changes. Although I did think that they gave an alibi to James because James was by himself sleeping in his room and until Oliver said, no, I was in there. And so they did kind of give James an alibi there. And I wondered, and Alexander had an alibi because he was with Colin. Meredith and Oliver would have had alibis, but they took Meredith's alibi away because wasn't Philippa who's her roommate? Does she not?
I don't think Meredith has a roommate.
It's interesting
I don't think so.
Everybody seems to be on their own except for James and Oliver.
I don't know. Maybe it's Philippa, but I'm not sure. It also could be Wren. I just don't recall them saying she has a roommate.
I remember him saying that Philippa didn't show up in the middle of the night after they slept together. So that's why I thought they were. I could be wrong. But she doesn't have an alibi.
That's
Where
possible.
was Wren? Like
Philippa and Wren, as far as we know, do not have alibis. And Alexander says he was with Colin, but it is a little weird that he was down there.
The thing for me also was they don't mention the near drowning. They decide to omit that. But wasn't Colin present for that? What if they talked to him? And he doesn't know the plan, so he says, yeah. The other day, it was this funny thing. Alexander tried to drown James.
Well, yeah, other people have witnessed them all fighting. This is why I agree with you, is there's no way they would ever have just gotten away with this, going about it the way that they did. Everyone witnessed that crazy scene when they were acting on stage, during the assassination, when they're fighting each other on stage for real.
Alexander's immediate response to everything is, don't tell anybody, just keep it to yourself. Makes me want to know what he is keeping from us. What's he keeping from Oliver? Because he obviously has tons of secrets that he ain't sharing.
And what's crazy about Alexander is he just continues to escalate his drug problem and his drinking problem throughout the whole act. Is he just continues to get worse. And the last scene we see him in, he's snorting coke. Come on, guy. What
Clearly,
the fuck?
Nobody's handling the secrets very well. Y'all should you can't come clean now because lying to the police is a crime. But
it's crazy to me that at some point something happens to point the police towards Oliver. So, which means that if that's the case, then the police would have to know that they all lied. They all made up stories. So how is Oliver the only one that ended up in jail?
I don't know. Maybe if he gets caught, he probably was like, no, I did it by myself.
I guess we have to read it.
I can see.
We still have 2 acts left.
I can see him sacrificing. If he were put in a position where there was no way out, I can see him sacrificing himself to save the others.
Okay. On the notes, in scene 5, and they're having a party near the lake again, and Lily's only word is memorial. Not a party.
I'm sorry. I was like, it's a memorial. It is not a party.
When I first heard it, they made it sound like a party, and I was like, what the fuck? Why are we having
I was just going through the comments okay. No, more memorial. Okay. I only responded to a few of them. Okay. But, oh man. I think, like you said, this whole section is about how all of them are handling, the guilt and the aftermath. And we see that Wren is, wasting away. She's not eating. She's crying all the time. She's very sad and reclusive. James is, mood swingy, crazy mood swings.
And paranoid.
Yeah. Real paranoid. And making these really crazy jokes.
The dark humor.
Yeah. Doesn't this feel like the longest day ever? Well,
not for Richard.
Not Richard.
That was great.
Yeah. Yeah, I also laughed at that.
I felt like that was our kind of humor.
Ooh.
One aspect, and this was one part that you did actually comment on too. So there's one part where Oliver, he's pushing back on Meredith wanting comfort, and he then realizes kind of what he's doing. And he immediately thinks how well I'd been trained to mistrust her, but by whom? Richard, Gwendolyn, like he's actually questioning himself. Who trained me? And he specifically names Richard and Gwendolyn, which I thought was interesting that those were the two names that came to mind.
That is interesting.
Because then I thought, okay, we're just looking within this group of kids as like the ones that are the potential killers. But it could also be Gwendolyn or Frederick or somebody else. It may not necessarily be one of them.
When you say kids, they are like 20 somethings. But also in the...
Do not make me say my age on here, Brittany.
I get you. But yeah, no, I think it was the first episode that we covered this book that I was like, I feel like the teachers are fucking with them, giving them parts to see how they'll react that they aren't expected to get.
Oh my God. New theory. This isn't something where this is completely fucking fake and they think it's real. And Colburn is an actor and they have like set this up for like 10 years, right?
Oh my God. Can you imagine if this was all fake?
Oh my God. The trauma, like that school would be sued in a heartbeat.
Yeah, no, that'd be insane.
No, speaking of that police officer though, he did say something else that I said in episode 1 or episode 6, which is he was like, I don't trust them. They're actors. They can say anything and we wouldn't know if it's true or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I do want to talk about what you pointed out about Oliver saying that like somebody taught him to mistrust Meredith. I think it's interesting that you point out that he brings up Gwendolyn and Frederick, which I think that's interesting because Gwendolyn and Frederick are the ones that give them their roles. And so it's like, does he think that it's a role that he's playing? You know what I mean? And then 2, I think this is my thing about Meredith's character. I think that Meredith doing what she's doing right now is because she doesn't really know. She doesn't have any other tools to handle what's going on. Yeah. She's only ever turned to male attention in her life, and that's because that's what everyone assumes she's going to do. Like everyone has put that on her as like her only value to her plays, to her theater, to her role in the group, to whatever. And including Gwendolyn and Frederick, like they make her stand up and talk about that and like reinforce that in front of everybody. And then Richard slut shames her, and then even Oliver tells her that he thinks that she's using him and that she's pitying him and everything. So none of them treat her with much respect, I guess. And so she just kind of falls into that trap of doing it anyway. Like she doesn't really know how else to handle this, is my opinion.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think she's right in doing that. I just think that like that's what is going on with Meredith is like she doesn't know how to handle this at all. She doesn't have the tools.
Well, and just a quick clarification, Oliver calls out Richard and Gwendolyn. And then now I added in Frederick, but Richard and Gwendolyn are the two that he calls out.
Even more interesting because it's like Richard treated her like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Yep. That's my point though, is like everyone does that to Gwendolyn. Everyone does that to Meredith. Is like everyone treats her that way. And it's the only role that they've given her in life and on the stage. And I guess it's just like, of course she's going to do that. She doesn't really know what else to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. Her going to Oliver for attention, I agree with you, Brittany, that she doesn't really want Oliver, but she also doesn't want to be alone.
Yeah. And when they were in that bar, and throughout this entire thing, they talk about the people who are gawking at them. And that is some pressure to just feel like you're being watched all the time.
Yeah.
But the tables next to them were like whispering and, clearly talking about them. And all they did at that bar was was be together in a way that two friends who are grieving would be together. And when they leave, somebody mutters, "Fucking shameless." And I was like, yes, bitch, you are. Like,
yeah,
is she not
I don't
allowed
understand.
to have male company without the
that's the
allegation?
Thing is, she will always, people will always assume that she is fucking whoever she's near.
Yeah.
I mean,
when you think about it, she doesn't actually go to Oliver until things are really rocky with Richard. And as far as we know it, she only has slept with Richard before Oliver. Now, just because she liked James in the past doesn't really mean anything. That doesn't mean that she's like fucking sleeping around. And, you know what I mean? Like, people just assume the worst of her. They're like, oh, she's just going to work her way through all of the guys. And it's like, even if she did, that's none of your fucking business.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, it does go along with that. Women always sleep their way to the top. That's all they're good for, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although Meredith does have her faults here. Like,
she does.
But some of her faults are society.
You know what I love? I will say, I love that when they're finally given their parts for Romeo and Juliet, she plays a prince. I love that they decided.
The casting on that was crazy.
For real. Because, so this is towards the end of Act 3. They're finally doing the Christmas Masque, which is typically at parties like this, like Shakespearean plays, they do like short plays or like little like excerpts, I think. So that it makes sense that they're doing Romeo and Juliet, just like a couple scenes. And the fact that they made her the prince and not Juliet, and then James is Romeo, and then Oliver is Benvolio, which makes sense, but also is like crazy.
I was cooking while listening to this, and so the entire time I was like, I fucking hate Shakespeare. Why? Like, I was like, this is not a character that I recognize. What play is this?
Shakespeare.
What play is this? Like, no. And so by the time they get to the actual play, I'm like, oh, Romeo and Juliet. Okay, yeah, that one I'm supposed to know. Like,
they say it before they get their assignment. I think
I must have missed it because, like I said, I was cooking, and I was just like, but I sat there and I yelled at my phone. I was like, what play is it? Like, just saying. But
yeah.
Just fuck Shakespeare.
I'm just reading some more comments. So, because I was like, so Alexander is stronger on cocaine up at or meth. I get it at this point. Anyways, I was like, maybe, to which Lily replies, it is implied to be coke. I say this with deepest sincerity. Do not snort meth.
When I saw your comment, I was like, oh no. Please do not snort meth.
Please don't snort coke either.
Like,
but definitely, definitely don't.
That's a fair. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just saying, if you're gonna do drugs, I don't think snorting meth is the way to go. I'm pretty sure.
Do them responsibly.
Pretty sure it's not usually taken in that way. But, it's possible. I just don't think it's normal to do that. Anyway, not like I would know or anything. But anyway, so, I do think we should talk about very briefly Oliver overhearing stuff while he's cleaning when he comes back after break. And then we can finish up with some more Romeo and Juliet talk, I think, because there's bigger themes here. Okay. So Oliver has, unfortunately, his fucking shitty parents.
Yeah, because they waited till he has one fucking semester left.
Yeah.
One fucking semester.
Yeah, they tell him they can't afford to pay for his tuition anymore.
Which bullshit.
Bullshit, but can we also point out that the amount that they list for this school is fucking cheap as shit.
20,000. Yeah.
I was like, damn, that is like a really like non-expensive school.
I was
Was
like,
it cheap in 97? Is that still cheap?
Less.
probably.
I mean, it was still, it was sort of expensive, but it was still not, it wasn't horribly expensive. So, you know, just for those listening from other countries, you can expect to pay over here at a fucking public school. I mean, you could pay like what, $60,000 to $100,000 for 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on where you go and what you study. And we're not talking like being a doctor or anything like that.
Yeah, when I was applying for undergrad at a very specific art school in Georgia, I
wonder what that one is.
I got a lot of scholarships, and I also got help from the state because Georgia luckily has some funding for undergrad students. And I still was told after all of my scholarships and all of the aid that it was going to be $26,000. And I was like, well, I definitely can't pay that a semester. That's fucking nuts. So guess who didn't go to art school for undergrad?
Yeah. So for them to list $20,000 for this, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And the thing is that whenever the dad told Oliver this, I was like, okay, so he didn't choose the school you wanted him to go to. If he went to that Ivy League college that you wanted him and followed the career path that you chose for him, would you be saying this?
You really have to
because
wonder.
You hate the fact, you hate the fact that he's an actor. And so, I don't think that he would have pulled this funding had he done what his dad wanted.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off.
Especially that close to the end. And now you're going to pay even more money to send him to college.
Absolutely nuts.
Over again.
One fucking semester.
But did it strike you as weird that they would give a shit that their kid has anorexia?
Type of parents,
I was shocked they would pay.
I think it's like appearances.
Yeah.
I think it's appearances. They're like, clearly, we can't have her seen by the rest of town.
It's definitely not that
they
care about her, but it's definitely about appearances.
Yeah.
Let me say it differently than fix her.
They probably think it's fix her.
Because I don't think that's it. I think it's trauma that creates a sense of a loss of control that for her, that is the only thing in her life that she can probably control. And that's what that anorexia generally comes from. So didn't want to say that as just fixing her. That sounded terrible.
Yeah, but the dad probably thinks of it as fixing her, and the mom too.
Yeah.
So
and Oliver probably does as well.
That's how I took it, was that you were talking about.
I saw your comment I noted that you said that because I thought it was a great point. Is that I think it's Caroline that has the anorexia problem, the eating disorder, I should say. It's Caroline that has the eating disorder, and her and Oliver both have to deal with these fucking parents. I mean, it's no wonder that this has happened, and I can't imagine. See, Oliver got away. He who knows how much contact she's had with the parents that has led her to this unfortunate situation. Like, I agree with you that it's definitely, it stems from like a need to find control in a situation where, it's just fucking awful.
Yeah.
And I do agree that I think that Oliver treats her kind of shitty. He's not very nice to her. He's like, why don't you eat breakfast?
I guarantee you those parents have pitted their children against each other.
Yeah.
Although I love Leah.
Leah's a sweetheart.
She was fantastic.
You know, I didn't like the way Oliver talked to her. Although, of course, she gives it back by teasing him and James in bed. But
I felt like there was a mean tone to that teasing. Like, there's a playful way to tease that's like, that's funny, cute. And then there's a mean way to tease. And I just, at least the way the audiobook narrator read it, I felt like it.
Oh, it was
had
mean.
A mean
it was definitely mean. I'm not saying that she.
From Leah or Caroline?
Yeah,
though?
they both taunt him for being quote unquote gay with his boyfriend, but that's what siblings fucking do, right?
I took Caroline's as more mean, and but again, I don't have the audio, but I took Leah's as more like joking with him, but being sarcastic, but not in a mean way like Caroline did.
I mean,
but that's how I
it's
read
mean either way, but like,
well, I mean,
I think
even playful teasing is mean, but it just had a mean undertone to it. Like,
yeah, well, so did Oliver when he said, "Why don't you go eat breakfast?" You know what I mean? Like, they're both being awful to each other.
Yeah.
I just don't like. I did not like how either of them talked to each other, but like you said, I think they're being pitted against one another. And also, I think it's somewhat just sibling shit. Like, they obviously don't like each other.
Yeah, but have you noticed that's kind of to me, a running theme with Oliver and how he talks to people is he will say something almost kind and then follow it up with something shitty. He did that at the
Especially
bar
Meredith.
with Meredith.
He's done that to her twice now.
Yeah.
He's actually, this is what I mean by like, sometimes I read him and I'm like, you don't actually like Meredith. You want to like save her or something. You think that you're supposed to like her because she's beautiful and like it's your one chance to be with some hot girl. At least that's sometimes how I fucking feel it is, because he doesn't seem to actually like Meredith. When they get alone on a date, they're barely talking. He has nothing in common with her.
He doesn't, but there was, what was it?
He also
Scene
likes
12.
to protect her. So it's like...
He does, but there's something about scene 12 and the way he talked and the way he noted himself. Because he lists something about a slight resemblance to Richard. Like that he thought he looked slightly like him. And there was a part of me that kind of, adding into what I've already kind of brought up about him, is could he be going crazy and thinking of himself of stepping into that role of being Richard, which would mean also taking over Meredith? You know, why he's attracted to her? I don't know. Just very odd.
Could be. I kind of got that, like, and this is me with my very limited Shakespeare knowledge. Is it Hamlet that gets visited by ghosts? And
I think
or
is
haunted by his...
I'm also limited on this knowledge.
And so I kind of felt like it was a very Shakespearean, like, ooh, I looked into the lake and I thought I looked like Richard, and this is the specter of Richard watching me. And
I will become him.
Yeah.
It's a role to play.
It's also, think of, you know, when they were discussing the roles for Caesar, they talk about how Richard dies in the second act, and then he haunts the narrative. He's haunting the whole story, because killing Caesar in the play doesn't cause good things. It causes chaos. And that's kind of what happens here is Richard dies and then nothing good comes from it. Like, he's looming in the background over everything that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, for Oliver, there's one point where he talks about throwing Meredith against the wall and kissing her. But to me, there is no spark between him and Meredith whatsoever. And
I agree.
I was like,
his thoughts, his interactions, everything with her seems so fake. I don't know about you, but reading his thoughts about her is so fucking uncomfortable.
I agree that it's weird.
Like, place piece A in slot B.
Well,
Meredith, it doesn't fit.
I mean, I agree, because I feel like in that scene, I think he says something like, I wish I could just do this. But it's like, you're always wishing, Oliver. Whereas when it comes with James, he just does it.
Yeah.
Like, with James, he steps in front of him when the others are arguing. With James, he goes and tackles him on the fucking dog. He stops him from doing something bad. But with Meredith, he thinks to himself, like,
what am I supposed to do
this.
Yeah.
I want to do something like this. I think I should be doing that. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading that, like, way out of line, but I don't think he likes Meredith as much as he thinks that he's playing a specific role with her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he wants the attention that
Maybe
Richard
he
has.
does love her. I don't know. I'm just...
I don't think so at all.
So confused by that.
No. I don't think you talk to people the way that he talks to her if you love them.
But when... Go ahead.
I was just going to bring us back to the police and overhearing.
That's what I was going to do. Yeah. But when he gets back from Thanksgiving, he has to hopefully get scholarships. I don't remember if they tell us if he gets that, but he does get a work study job to pay for it.
He did get a little bit of...
So he has to clean the castle.
Scholarship,
a little bit of help.
Loans, plus work study.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But why did he have to start the work study right then? Because he's paid for that semester. He doesn't need it until the next one.
I don't know how much the minimum wage was back then, but I guarantee you he's not going to be making enough to cover one semester.
Well, but work study you do within the semester that you are receiving it.
They probably were like,
because at that point he's paid for that.
You need to...
Somebody needs to clean the castle.
Pre-work. Yeah.
Okay, it just didn't make sense. It's not how the FAFSA works, people.
Somebody needs to clean the castle, which hasn't been cleaned for some reason. But yeah, I don't know, because when he's in there and he's cleaning up, he overhears Colborne and another detective or another police officer talking about what's going on, and they suspect the kids. They even mention Wren by name. Like, they're like, the cousin is suspicious. And they talk about how none of it is adding up.
Which,
right.
I was like, if they go after Wren, I'm going to be pissed.
I know.
She's been abused enough.
I felt she was... I don't know. I thought she was a little suspect, but here was my thing too, that again, this did not add up in this particular piece is, so the police, if they had already ruled that it was an accident, why would that institution allow them to be back on grounds with incredibly rich students? Plus, isn't it? And Brittany, you let me know with your amount of legal knowledge here, but anything they found there wouldn't be admissible because the scene wasn't secured, correct?
It could be, but any defense
you
lawyer...
You guys are acting like police always do what they're supposed to do.
Any defense lawyer would have it thrown out because, yes, anybody could have snuck back in there and placed anything in their rooms or whatever. So, yeah. It might be like allowed for them to do that, but any good defense lawyer would have it thrown out in a heartbeat.
Right. I mean, we need like Mariska Hargitay. Isn't that how you say it?
Yes.
She does sex crimes.
Okay, but still, I love her. So I
do too. Did you know that one time she
at band camp
came across one time she came across somebody who had been injured or something like that, and she just immediately went into Olivia Benson mode and just was like, okay, I need this and this, and let me call the police, and this is Detective Benson, I need... Yeah. I thought that was great. But I was also like, what the hell? Why are they back? But then when they also show up when Wren passes out, I was like, who the fuck is calling the police? Why are they letting...
Something's going on.
Why would they even show up for this? She passed out. She's grieving. It's a normal thing for people who are grieving, who are highly upset, who just lost somebody that literally, she said, he was as close to me as a brother, not closer than any cousin usually is. And they're going to sit there and get the police involved because she fainted?
And not allow James in there. Everybody else can go in, but not James.
That I read as in like the doctor and the nurses and whatnot, but I don't think they let any other students in there. I could see that. They're not letting.
It could be either that the doctor weren't letting him in, or it could be that this is now an open investigation again. And they don't want him talking to her when they need to talk to her. I'm not sure. I think it could be either, honestly.
It could be. But the thing is that they have no evidence to reopen the case. If they've already ruled it an accident if they've already ruled
that you know of.
If they've already ruled
in 9 days
that you know of.
If they've already ruled it an accident, then just the mere fact of her fainting, if that's all that it is not enough to reopen the case.
You don't know that that's why they're there.
I was going to say, it has to be something else.
Also, for them to show up.
I think Lily just gave something away and she regrets it now.
No, I don't.
Also, for them to show up when she's vulnerable like that, oof. I feel like...
Yeah, that's pretty shitty.
Yeah, I feel like a defense lawyer would also be able to be like, anything she said... Sorry, she was under medication. She, like, if I came out of a diabetic coma and in my fugue state said, I killed somebody, I don't think that the police can hold me responsible.
I also want to make a point.
Words.
I also want to make a point that if we're gonna be logical here and treat it like the real world, that the police do not always follow the rules.
They do not.
Oh no, they don't.
I bet that they could get a fucking confession out of her and admit it anyway.
They could.
You know?
Think about too how rich she is and how connected she is.
It depends. Yeah, it just depends.
And again, any defense lawyer would have it thrown out in a heartbeat
if they were a good defense lawyer.
Right.
There's a lot of variables here. I'm just saying, if you're going to be logical about it, you have to include that people are also corrupt.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah. So the police, honestly, they are never on our sides. You know?
But I still expect them to act. You know, it's probably I know in my heart that they don't act. They are like, there are corrupt cops out there. They don't act like they're supposed to. And yet I still expect them to. That's
will
fair.
Hold
you
them
should. To that
you
standard.
Definitely should. They should be operating at that standard. Police should be there to help you.
They should.
Something that you should fear.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair though, here Colburn's gut is talking to him, and his gut is right, I think.
Yeah.
But also to come at her when she's vulnerable is so wrong.
I agree. But let's go ahead and move on to the final few acts, where we did talk a little bit about it already, but there's some weird shit that happens in the play, the Romeo and Juliet scenes that we get to see in the book. What did you guys think about those?
To be honest, the most that I remember about the play, because I was just sitting there like wondering if anything dramatic was actually gonna happen by the end of the act, like the way it did with the Halloween play. Because I mean, yes, I know it covered how they're all dealing with covering up how they're dealing with the secrets and covering up the murder or accident or whatever it was. I didn't feel like there was enough movement in the story for as much of this was the longest act in the entire story.
Yeah.
And so the things that I remembered are, of course, James is going to be Romeo. I loved that Wren was Juliet. I thought it was interesting that Oliver forgot his line and then missed a couple lines. But the thing that stuck out to me the most, and I don't know why, where is it? And I know this is from the play, but the line of, I'm going to take the maids' heads, or I'm going to take some maiden heads. Who knows?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is what we're teaching kids in high school?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Yeah. I mean, Shakespeare has definitely said worse.
Yeah. Well, I thought of the casting. One, Meredith, I thought that was brilliant. Loved it. And I thought she did fabulous with it.
Aeschylus.
James is Romeo. Oliver's reaction to seeing him what really stood out to me. With him saying, I was the only one who really knew him every inch, which I thought was really odd.
Yeah.
I did put that down too.
Every inch.
And
yeah, I was like, okay.
Like, oh, really?
And
okay.
Yeah.
Alexander as Mercutio. I feel like that was a big old flag. But here was what, and I kind of building on my weird, crazy ass theory so far. I was wondering a little bit for Oliver if he has lost his mind and created a world in which in his head, it's made up of Shakespeare characters, and he has created these people out of those characters. Also, I think Wren has something to do with it. I think she is guilty as shit. I don't know. Something about her is off.
Oh my God.
She freaked out when she found, or when they found Richard. She was on the ground.
She was losing it.
Devastated.
She may be the best actress ever.
She's suspicious.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't suspect her at all. She's
oh, you didn't?
No, but
what about after her speech for him? I mean, how beautifully perfect was that? It was a little too perfect.
I mean, I'm sure somebody wrote it for her. Or maybe she's just really good at writing. I don't know. But I mean, it gave them I wrote in the notes that it gave them the ability to be like, yes, everybody grieves differently. And yeah, we didn't really like him, but he was our friend and we're grieving this all in different ways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought the most...
Christy's like, that's damn
that bitch.
I feel like this is a little sexist, but like she's the little tiny waif,
an ingenue
that you want to just throw your body over and protect.
Yeah,
and
she's supposed to be like the damsel.
So who better to smash the biggest guy's face in?
If she wasn't,
she's the Elaine.
If she wasn't, I have no feelings of protecting Elaine.
Oh, okay. But you do want to protect Wren.
I don't know. If she wasn't Richard's relative.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if that influences it. Because, I mean, I sure as hell have wanted to murder my relatives
Hell yeah,
before.
I feel that.
But,
yeah. I'm not saying she would have reason to, but I feel like there's something a little suspect about her. And how beautiful of a wrap up would it be to have her be the one that did it, for Oliver to think James did it. James is protecting her and Oliver protects James and then goes down for it only to realize that he puts the two of them together. I don't know. I've got a whole story.
Damn.
Do we still...
That's plausible. I'm going to say that is plausible.
Do we still think that this wasn't an accident?
It was murder.
Oh, I've thought it was a murder from the beginning, especially since the way that this book was billed. But I don't know if it was... watch it be like, we got into a fight and I tripped him and he fell and hit his head. And I mean, it's not necessarily
like a cop-out.
Murder, but like
also not an accident,
involuntary manslaughter or something like that.
Yeah,
because
it wasn't.
But how did he end up in the water though?
Because he tried to cover it, or somebody tried to cover it up and threw him in the water or something. Like they make dumb decisions about crime. They should really watch some true crime and work on their plans.
Well, I mean,
CSI.
Throwing the body in the water is a really good way to get rid of evidence, because when the body is in the water, it gets rid of most of it. Like all the skin sloughs off and terrible shit happens to the body.
DNA, fingerprints can be wiped off.
But he could have been sitting there and they could all have been like, oh God, Richard, oh no, let me touch you so much. Oh, we were trying to help him. DNA all over him.
Yeah, although that's not the story they went with. So if they would have watched more true crime or police shows, they would know. They could just pretend like they were helping
they've got
him.
Is Shakespeare, man. All they've got is Shakespeare.
There's plenty of murder in Shakespeare, right?
Murder that people go down for.
That's true.
Going back to Romeo and Juliet, I just want to make this point, and then I will leave you guys alone. There is a line that James says when he's about to talk about Juliet, and he says, "But I love a woman," or something like that. He's like, I am to love a woman," or something like that. And Oliver follows that up with, "Be ruled by me." And it's so like they have a moment, both of them, like they 404 error, like their brain goes, whoa. Yeah. And they both go, huh? And they both have a moment. He forgets his lines. And, bro, I just feel like my point is that this act, while it might have felt like the end was anticlimactic, I think the point was that now that Richard's gone, the people who have wanted to do things that Richard didn't like are finally doing those things and finding out what that means.
Yeah.
And that would be Oliver getting with Meredith, James getting with Wren. The surprise pairing is Oliver and James, but that doesn't mean that it's not a part of it, right? Like, the whole theme of this act is romance, and then we end it with Romeo and Juliet. Very clear, you know?
And Oliver realizing that he's jealous.
Yeah, intensely jealous, too. And he goes, ooh, actually, I don't like that he's kissing Wren.
Yeah.
No.
If
Now what are we
he
gonna
ends up
do about
telling
it?
himself that he was jealous because he likes Wren in the next act, I'm going to be pissed. This better be a I'm coming to Jesus moment and being honest with himself.
Is Oliver ever honest with himself?
No, and I don't know if he's honest with us either.
Yeah.
I think there are things that he fudges.
Yeah, I think his viewpoint on things are wildly off. I think even the interactions with Meredith are his version of wanting to be wanted and wanting that attention because he's never had it.
I think a lot of it is true. Like, Oliver is more complicated than he wants us to think. Like, he's just the sidekick?
Yeah.
No. I don't believe that for a minute.
Yeah, because he acted completely different at home. Like, at home, he was definitely very, not short-tempered, but he certainly wasn't the laid-back, take-it-on-the-chin, quiet person like he is at school.
I agree personally. And now that he's gotten this cool fight scene in Romeo and Juliet, do we think he's going to get bigger roles?
Yeah.
Probably.
Do we think he's going to step into Richard's spot?
Yes.
He said he didn't want to.
I think he does.
I don't know. During his audition, they did say that
rehearsal thing.
They did say that he did really well, and so I do think that the teachers will shake things up.
They're definitely
again.
messing with them because Alexander being Mercutio,
yes,
him being Benvolio, James is still Romeo. It's like, what does this mean? I feel like this is supposed to mean something that I, as not a theater student or a Shakespearean savant, I don't understand.
I mean, James always sees him as the tragic hero, so I did think when they were talking about something, when he was saying one of his lines about like there's a prophecy or something about him dying soon, I was like, oh shit. Is this gonna be James's fate? But then I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm reaching too far.
So far,
well, he's alive though. When he comes out of prison, he doesn't say that James is dead, does he? Do they say anything about James?
All we know is that Meredith is in New York. Alexander is
in New York too, right?
He's doing plays, and Philippa is with
teaching.
Milo. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the only three that we actually know anything about.
So we don't hear about Wren or James because if you look at Romeo and Juliet and the outcome, especially for Mercutio and that character.
As of yet, we do not know anything about them in modern
day. They are kind of playing their Shakespearean parts in their lives.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Yeah. I hope it doesn't end that way. But I did, when they talked about him dying, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
What if?
And Oliver tries to play the peacemaker and he doesn't get his way. I mean, in Benvolio's character.
The unsuccessful peacemaker. Yeah. So and let me also kind of throw this out there too, along those same lines, is because we're assuming that he went to jail for something to do with Richard's death, which isn't necessarily the case. What if he went to jail for
something else? James's
death.
Oh, damn. I didn't even think about the fact that he might have went to jail for something else. Fuck.
Just saying, you guys don't know everything yet.
Although the police officer does say, I never thought you belonged in jail or something like that at the beginning.
Right.
I don't know. Lots to contemplate.
Definitely lots to think about. Anything else we want to discuss before we finish up here? We didn't talk about Alexander much, but I felt that his role in this act was very
nothing.
No, I actually feel like he is the instigator in most of this.
He is. I said nothing because that seems to be his answer for everything.
Oh yes, that's right.
That totally going over my head. I was like, no, that went right over my head. I was like, no, actually.
Yeah, he seems to be the one that's like, let's not talk about this. Let's just sweep it under the rug. It'll go away. I mean, he's right to some extent. If Oliver had told them about the police officer, I could see they are actually really shitty actors when they don't have a role given to them. I mean, they could make themselves take on another role in order to kind of hide that, but they're literally sitting there going, yeah, so about the guy we murdered, and I'm like, shut up. Like, just, you chose a path, now you need to stick to it. And if you keep talking about it.
Wow. Remind me not to kill anybody with you, Brittany.
I've been trying to tell you that for years. Like, Brittany will do some dastardly things. I'm on the right side. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Brittany's friend, you know, not her enemy.
Right.
And that's staying
there
that
you
way.
go.
Okay, so that's kind of like one of my coworkers at Domino's told me that she was nice to me because she thought I was going to be the one that shot up the place eventually.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Brittany.
So thanks.
Oh my God, Brittany, you're scaring people.
No, I am not that way. I'm actually, I can barely tell people things that will hurt their feelings. So
that's so funny to me. I'm sorry. Oh man,
I don't know why I give off that.
I don't think you don't give off school shooter vibes. I don't think that, but to me, you give off like, I don't know, like, I feel like you would make somebody's life living hell if you wanted to, and you'd get away with it.
Yeah.
And Brittany would want to explain. See, that's the thing. Brittany would want to explain why you're wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And here's the proof.
And Brittany would do it all in front of your face. That's the thing. I appreciate
or with
that.
a loudspeaker at a school. I could see Brittany doing that.
I've never touched.
My thing is, I appreciate that when Brittany's mad at you, you know exactly why, and she will tell you, and everything she does will be right in front of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, I have never touched a gun, never want to touch a gun, will not be shooting anybody. Just putting that out there.
For the record, I am not a shooter.
But no, she explained it.
I am not a bad guy.
The way that she explained it was that I was the quiet person who people picked on and made fun of and hurt very openly. And she was like, she's the one who's going to lose it.
Her saying that to you, though, is so fucked up, though. This is why we have problems in America.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because, like, we're teasing you because we love you. But she was a coworker. Like, girl, keep that thought to yourself.
Here's my thing, too, for that coworker. If you saw that shit going down, why the fuck didn't you say something? Why didn't you
she didn't do that. She just said, you guys are going to eventually drive this girl crazy. No, she just... That's a terrible way of handling it. This is the problem.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you people?
But no, I mean,
oh man,
if I am also the type of person that if you kill somebody, I will be there to help you hide the body. Just saying.
If you're
my friend,
yeah. This is what I meant by I'm on the right side.
Brittany's going to be the one as you're shoveling that's like, stop being stupid.
Yeah.
It's not how you do it.
Yep. She's a ride or die bitch, but you know, you just have to make sure that you do everything the way she says. Right. This is killing me.
We love you, Brittany.
I do not want you in jail. And I'm sure if you killed somebody, that person deserved it. So, you know, I'm just going to make sure that you get away with it.
Yes. And we appreciate that very much.
All right. Any other thoughts before we close things?
Well, I think we're good.
Well, I guess we'll end there. We hope that you'll join us for next week's episode, and we'll be discussing If We Were Villains Act 4. New episodes drop each week, and don't forget to check out last season's discussion on the Bride Duology, available now.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media. That like and follow are super important for us to continue to bring you new episodes each week, so please do so. You can also support us by joining us on Patreon. Thank you for listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. We'll see you next week.
Happy reading, listeners. Don't stay up too late.